Hi, and welcome to this short demonstration of the Fastman Content Server Extract tool. This is a companion product to our Bulk Data Manager product, and what it allows you to do is allows you to extract content and a structure of content from a content server system, either for import into another location of the same system, or perhaps to archive it and import it into another system of some sort, be it content server or something else. So it's a very simple tool. It's a Windows client. It doesn't need any installation of modules and so on the target content server system that you're extracting data from. And it's installed as a client on the local machine. So it's very simple to use, very easy for end users to use as well. So what I'm doing is I'm working from a content server 10.5 system here, which is it's got a small structure in it, and inside that structure we've got a legal folder. Inside that legal folder I have a number of subfolders. Each of those subfolders has got some items in it. I think there's about 65 or 67 items in total in the legal folder. And to start the extract, all I need to do is go to the standard Windows Start process, and you can see that under Fastman we have a content server extract item. It pops up a connection dialog. It's connecting to my local demo machine, and in this case I don't use single sign-on, but I could if I wanted to. And I'm going to log in, and it brings up a very simple little dialog with a set of instructions on how to use the product. And in this case I'm going to show you how to do that, so we don't need to read all those instructions. What you need to do to use the product is to extract from a particular object ID or node ID inside Content Server. So what I'm going to do is enter in this 59823 number, which is the location of the legal folder. So 59823. And in this first run, I'm not going to include any versions, and I'm not going to include metadata, although I could. But I do need to select the folder location where I'm going to put the files. So I have a folder on my desktop called CS Extract Demo. So I'll select that, and then I hit run. And that's pretty much it. So now I sit back and wait, and it runs the extract, pulls the content out of Content Server, puts it into the folder on my desktop, and at the same time it creates a folder structure in that location. So 63 items and 6 folders. So now if I go back to the file share, you can see that in that location on my local machine, I now have a folder called Legal. Inside Legal, I have the same structure as we can see on the content server environment, and inside each one of those items I've got the same type of content. All the folders and the email messages and so on are all there. Now in this case, the file names on the content server system actually have the file type or the MIME type included. So the tool has recognized the MIME type and added the string at the end, just in case you need to use that when you do import it into the next system. So let's do that right now. Let's jump across now to our BDM tool, which some of you will be familiar with. And all I'm going to do is run a load taxonomy. So I do a load taxonomy, normal process, follow the wizard, and if I go next, I select the folder where I'm the source folder, which is this legal folder here. I've just created, we've just seen. So this is the folder I've just extracted, and I say OK, and next, and now I'm going to tell it where I want to put that. And let's go back to our content server system just before we do that, and let's go up to Enterprise, and you can see here I have Bulk Data Manager demo folder. It's got 0 items in it at the moment, so it's empty. So I'll navigate to it. There's nothing in it at all. So let's jump back to Bulk Data Manager, back into the wizard where I was, and next. I'm not going to add any attributes or text or categories at this stage to the content, and I'm not going to add any records management classifications. So I just skip through those 2 steps, and the very next thing I see is this the standard BDM grid, which has got the folder structures defined, the names of the documents defined, and you can see it stripped off the extensions. That's part of the options I had when I started this import process, and it's got a little bit of description and who the owner is as I go through. It's picked up the owner, by the way, from the file name on the file details on the file share, and then I finish. and I say yes, and now it's importing the content. So let's just let that run through. So there's 63, and by memory there are a couple of duplicates in here. I think there are a couple of PDF files, a couple of maybe Excel spreadsheets that have the same file name with different extensions, and that's why I'm getting a couple of errors as I do this. So it's acting as intended. It's working as it should by not allowing you to have duplicate file names in the same folder in Content Server. So that's completed. Those 59 in this case, because of those errors, have taken 25 seconds to run. And now if I refresh the screen, in this environment, you can see that I now have all of these folders. Now I could have started from the folder above and just had a legal folder in here, but I didn't. So here you can see that I've got all the sub-content, and if I dive into one of these folders, you can see I've got all the folders as well. So that was a really simple little demonstration of how you use the Content Server Extract tool, and plus a little bit of how you load those same documents into Content Server itself. As I said, it's a really simple product to use. It's a companion to Bulk Data Manager. It doesn't need any installation of components on the Content Server system itself. It can be distributed to end users to use as they want, as they need to get information out of Content Server for a variety of reasons. Thanks for your time.